Hello there, welcome to my channel Snips by Kelly. I'm Kelly and today I have an easy easel note card tutorial. So it is time for me to swap. I am on my way to an event and I need to have, I believe it's 26 or 29 swap cards, and they have to be 3D or interactive. So I also had a request to be able to do a tutorial for these from my Snips by Kelly paper crafters. And you know, it's really hard for me to tell those ladies no because they're so good to me. So I thought I could kill lots of birds with one stone, and we could look at all kinds of new product, and we could make some really easy, fun easel cards for my Post-it notepads. And I hope they're good enough. I hope that I'm a little intimidated because it's other demonstrators that are going to be at this event, and they're probably the best of the best. And so I hope that my humble little note card cards can fly, but I thought that they were really pretty, and I think you're going to be really surprised at how easy these are to come together. You might recognize some of our new colors. So this one right here that I'm showing you uses our brand new Strawberry Slush, which is one of our brand new in colors on the cardstock. This one, the yellow in it, is Darling Duckling, which is another one of our brand new colors. So I'm really excited to use some existing colors, and also you'll notice I'm using the two-tone cardstock. So as of May 6th, we have 45 two-tone cardstock colors, so we can use light tones and dark tones. So the stamp and die set that I'm using tonight is a brand new one called Impressions of Bloom, and I've used this so many times already, but you can see the impressions within the florals. It gives so much detail. So there's at least 3 florals that have an impression die. The dot centers have an impression die, and some of the leaves have an impression die. So what I mean by an impression die is the outer die does the cutting, and the inner die leaves a really cool design on the inside. So you actually run both of them through your die cutting machine at the same time, and it gives you so much texture. So you don't actually have to run it through an embossing machine separate. You can actually get that impression and the outer cut at the exact same time when you run it through the die cutter. I have fallen in love with this set. So you can see the centers, the leaves, and the florals, and even the other florals and leaves, even though they don't have an impression die, they have some great lines in them and some great detail. So this paper has been so popular already. It is the Floral Impressions Designer Series paper, and it has all the gorgeous florals. But what I love about it is on the back is more muted and small patterns. So it's perfect for scrapbooking. It's perfect for card making. So if we look at this one that actually features our new Strawberry Slush in color, you see that busy floral on one side and a more muted pattern on the other. Now I'm also going to pull in another brand new fan favorite called Sentimental Framing. This is how I made that beautiful frame on the outside of the card. It has so much detail, and there's lots of other little frames that come with it as well, but I'm using the larger one. So I simply cut that frame out of cardstock and mounted it on white cardstock. So I did that to make it a little sturdier, but also so that I can back that white piece with some of the beautiful floral. So what we're going to do is we're going to be mounting that frame, and that's going to be the top part of our easel. So let's go ahead with this gorgeous, gorgeous Floral Impressions paper. It's actually 3 7/8 by 11, and we're scoring it at 3 and then again at 5 3/4. Now, why is it an odd size? Well, number one, when I mass produce, I typically trim my cards down to 4 inches instead of the standard 4 1/4. Why do I do that? Because when I'm mass producing, I can get 3 then out of a 12 by 12 designer series paper. And this one, the frame is just a hair smaller than 4 inches. So it is a about 3 7/8, and then it would fit the frame without having a little bit of that paper hang over the side of the frame. Now to create the interior, I just cut the frame on the designer series paper, but because I only needed the interior, unless I was going to do something with the beautiful exterior in the pattern paper, I made it a small piece underneath and didn't worry about cutting the outer part. So for this particular sample, I've just grabbed those floral impressions dies. I've made one bigger flower and one smaller flower, and I did that in Misty Moonlight cardstock. Then I added some early espresso centers. I made sure to put the impressions die inside the cut die, and I ran those through the die cutter at the same time. I'm going to do some double popping. Now, here's the deal with a card like this. We're putting Post-it notes inside. So we already know that it's going to have some bulk, and I'm actually adding bulk with my dimensionals, my foam dimensionals, because I love them and they're so pretty. But you are going to need extra postage if you mail this. I'm hand delivering, so I'm not going to worry about mailing. I'm going to put 2 of those impression leaves and one of the regular long-stemmed leaves on there. Now I wanted a darker tone, and that's where the two-tone comes in. You can have the white core two-tone cardstock, and you can do one tone on the frame and then a darker tone on the leaves, or you can bring in like some Mossy Meadow or a darker green if you want to. But the beauty of now having 45 two-tone cardstock colors in our catalog. Yes, oh my gosh, it's a dream come true. We can do so much with those two-toned in one sheet of cardstock. So now I'm coming in with the Misty Moonlight at 1 inch by 1.5 inches, dovetailing or notching that banner. I'm going to grab a sentiment. Now I have a tendency to grab the Unbounded, is it Unbounded Beauty or Unbounded Love? Because they have so many little sentiment pieces and so many little sentiments. So I grabbed a sentiment from that, but you can grab any sentiment from your stash or any little sentiment base from your stash. I'm going to put some foam tape on that, and then I'm going to cross that across the little banner, and I'm going to add some basic rhinestones. I'm just going to keep this simple because the floral pattern in the back is just gorgeous in and of itself. So we've got a little bit of dimension, we have texture with those impressions, we have dimension with the popping up of the flowers, we have some more patterns with the pattern that's in back of the sentimental frame, and now we get to put the piece together. So on the Post-it note, I just found some real pretty ones. You can find those at like office supply stores, Amazon, and I'm actually going to have the additional Old Olive cardstock is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 to hold a 3 by 3 Post-it note. So here we're going to bend that into a Z. And so you can see here by just folding that back, we're going to have the floral side folded back, the 3-inch score folded back onto the muted pattern. And then we're going to add adhesive to the top. We're going to add the frame flush on the bottom, and that's going to create the top part of the easel. How easy is that? It's a tongue twister, an easy easel. But I'm going to trim off the corners just a teensy bit, just because the sentimental frames are rounded. And then I can add my Post-it notes and create my frame. Now I found on these, I do need to crease the backside quite a bit until that frame stands up a little bit easier. But you can see when you flip it over that 3 7/8 by 11-inch piece remains intact, and both, you know, the pattern, and then when you flip it forward, you see a different pattern, and I love it. I love the florals. I love the colors. I love that they get a little set of Post-it notes in that. So just a little something something. And on some of mine, I actually even stamped another sentiment on the Post-it notes because I think these would make super cute teacher appreciation cards. So I found a little stamp that said, "I appreciate you," or "You are appreciated." And look how cute that stands up. You can put it on your desk at your office and pull out your Post-it notes. You can refill it and just keep it on there and and be reminded of how special you are. I think it was super cute, and it would even make a really quick, cute little Mother's Day card as well. So let me show you again the simple mechanics of that and how easy that is, and then how easy that stands up. And then let's take a look at all of those. So yeah, I'm nervous for my event. I leave early Tuesday morning and fly out to an event with all kinds of other demonstrators, and you could sign up for a swap. And usually the first time I do an event, I like to sign up for all the things and participate. I might not do it again, but I like to at least have done it once, and I hope they like them, and I hope you like them too. Won't you hit like, subscribe, and come back soon for more on Snips by Kelly.